what's up guys? Welcome back to Entry Tuesdays here on Top Flight Trading Academy's channel. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to tell you guys how I ended up losing a trade. Actually got tapped out of USD JPY, and I'll show you guys also how I got tapped out on US30 also. So this week I learned some lessons, which is a L, which is a loss, but at the end of the day you learn from it. So basically what you guys are going to see here, what I've marked the highest level off, which is the resistance, and the lowest level, which is the support. Currently right now USD JPY is in a big range. Okay, so this could be very dangerous when taking trades when it's in a range, only because ranges are supposed to be traded either at the lowest point or at the highest point. Okay, however, I did try to get in somewhere here because I felt like it would make its way from here, as you guys can see, where I had my risk to reward tool, all the way to at least up here. Okay, which it was a good risk to reward, but again, very unpredictable when it comes to taking a trade inside the middle of a range. Okay, so I'll show you guys what happened. So let's go down to the lower time frame. So go down to the H4. Okay, so at one point in time, right, actually lost, yeah, this is how I lost the trade. So I was in somewhere around here because I figured, hey, it would respect this, you know, support level here that it was creating. So I felt like, okay, it was H4, you know, we'll respect that level, whatever. I went to the gym, came back, this thing said boom, and as you guys can see, it hit my, you know, stop loss here, which was about roughly about 31 pips. I got taken out, and then it created that true level of support, which you guys can see it's bouncing off of, and now currently might end up just taking off and getting up here. However, I cannot get in this trade only because of my, you know, I already lost my trade and I don't want to get chopped up and lose any more trades inside this range. I'll rather wait till it breaks out to see which way it's going. Again, I can take a risk, but again, we're in the middle of the range, so it could be very unpredictable. As you guys can see, I did take an L here. So versus, you know, chopping up my head and, you know, trying to figure out what's the next best move for this, you know, this calls for the patience. We just have to sit down and wait. You know, let's look at another pair. We're gonna leave this one for now because I had like a 0.50 I was running on here, and I blew through like 150 bucks. All right, so I got taken out here. So the next areas that I'm predicting is if it come back down here, I'll take another buy. Other than that, I'm going to wait to see if I can possibly take advantage of a sell if it shows, you know, probability of rejecting from here. Aside from that, I am going to wait because this is a no-no zone. I already lost two trades, you know, one last week and one this week, trying to get in on this move. And as you can see, it's very, very unpredictable. And I don't want to lose any more money on this pair right now. As you can see, we know it's bullish, but we don't know when it's going to take off to break through this resistance level. And like I said, it's like right here in the middle of the range, which, you know, structure really doesn't matter on a consolidated market because it's just bouncing between two, a high point and a low point. Okay, now we're going to go over to the Dow Jones. This week is straight lessons. Okay, so I lost 80 bucks on the Dow Jones. Okay, and I'll show you guys how. So at one point in time, I noticed that the Dow Jones was here and it came to a level of support. Okay, now what happened? I thought that, you know, since we started having some wicks and, you know, this was happening, I could possibly catch this entry early and make out with it. However, that was not the case for me. I could have risked about 200 bucks and then it would have played out, but my risks are very predetermined, so I know exactly how much I'm going to risk on every trade that I take. So after I started to see some bullish momentum here, you know, I then went down to the lower time frames. Come on, let's load up. And I figured, you know, this right here was a level of resistance that was broken. However, I was wrong. The level of resistance that needs to be broken was this one, which got created shortly after I got in on the position. And my stop loss was here. So as you guys can see, what happened, I got ended. Okay, I was obliterated. They took me out. And now, as you guys can see, you know, levels of true resistance was being broken over here after, if we only waited a little bit more, which then started to take off. And now you guys can see that, the Dow Jones is going in an up position. So I'm gonna pay closely attention to this, wait possibly for a drawback before I decide to enter this market again, and see if I could risk about $100 to get another move. Because like I said, the Dow is not something to play with. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, you could get real screwed up. Like, let's say from here to like here is already $100. So the margin for error is very small when it comes down to the Dow. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be very on point, very skilled, because if not, you know, like if you think you're gonna put it at the lowest point, that's $340 on the lowest lot size you could put on the Dow. So depending on the broker that you're using, you know, so you want to be very careful when taking a trade on the Dow, because again, you don't want to get obliterated and you don't want to blow through your account, especially on the account size. I do in my course I have a specific section in my course which I'm gonna create for just the Dow alone, and you know, break things down to you and show you guys how to, you know, see the Dow a little bit easier and how to take advantage of it and what to look for in the market. Okay, so I want to thank you guys again for Entry Tuesdays. You know, it was definitely lessons that I learned this week. But again, in the markets, it works based on probability. So sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose. However, I am still overall in profit. Why? Because my risk is on point. If it wasn't, my account probably would have been gone. But remember, guys, the only thing that is predetermined is the risk, how much you're risking. The reward is you don't know. It's unknown. So don't let that scare you out or fear you out of the market, because you could have just simply risked $100 here, right? Let's say you got in somewhere here, and already you would have been up $300. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these little things that, you know, you kind of got to pay attention to when taking advantage of possibly moves in the Dow Jones. Okay, so thanks again for Entry Tuesdays, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.